Hey, what is up, guys? I'm Nate with Back from the Vault. Today I wanted to hop on here and talk about 5 of my favorite releases from this year so far. Now we're in August already. There's some big releases that are coming out soon. Later this month in August, we've got Alien Romulus. Cuckoo came out today, actually. So those are ones that I'm going to definitely watch, and they may get added to this list if I enjoy them enough. But I just wanted to get on here and talk about 5 that I think really blew me away so far, and just really give you guys some insight into movies that have released this year, and just kind of let you guys know what I really enjoyed this year so far. Again, by the end of the year, this will probably change. I may do another one back in like December probably, and give a more definitive list on the 5 that I really enjoyed. But I just wanted to kind of get on here and just talk about these movies really quick. And I wanted to address something. So I understand I haven't been posting as much on here, and I want to address that a little bit. So I started this channel with John, and our idea was that we were going to review underseen movies and movies we felt like needed to be talked about. And we started out pretty strong. We've done a good few videos of just me and him reviewing movies, but here recently we went kind of stale on that, and the reason why is because we both work together and our work schedule's been kind of all over the place, so we haven't had time to really sit down and talk about review movies or talk about them. So hopefully soon we get back to doing that. I just want to let you guys know that we haven't stopped doing that kind of content. It's not going to be just movies, physical media. We still want to do movie reviews and things like that, but we've got to find the time for it. So I would say just kind of be on standby. Hopefully soon we'll be able to put out content like that again. But we're definitely going to return to that in the near future. And hopefully sometime later this week or next week we can find the time to sit down and talk about some movies. Get back into the Trauma series that we were doing, and the Nicolas Cage series, where we're going to cover a bunch of Nicolas Cage movies. So while we're not currently talking about those or doing those reviews, they are coming. So stay tuned for that kind of content. But I just kind of want to break down these 5 releases real quick. 5 movies that I think blew me away this year so far. And I don't have all these physically. Some of them I just saw. One of them I saw like 2 days ago, actually. So I'm going to start with lowest to highest. So starting out at number 5, I would say, is Maxine. Maxine is my number 5. So I really enjoyed Maxine. I love the whole X trilogy. X, Pearl, and Maxine. Those are all incredible. Mia Goth is insane. She's such an incredible actress, and I love her. I think she does a great job. I'm a huge fan of this series, and I went into Maxine and loved the first 2 acts, I would say. I loved the movie. I thought it was really, really good. But there are some parts of it that I felt were a little off-putting, especially with the end. I won't give away anything too major, but I will say this: the 3rd act, the ending, there is a lot that just kind of is left unanswered, and it makes you scratch your head. There's a really weird story plot, like a really weird plot that develops that makes you kind of grossed out a little bit, the fact that this would happen. But overall, I think it wraps up pretty nicely. I just hope it stops here. I've heard that Ty West is writing a 4th film in the franchise, and I don't think it needs a 4th film. I think it's perfectly wrapped up and should end with 3. So that's my opinion, but that's where I stand on Maxine. So Maxine would be number 5. Number 4 for me would be Immaculate. I really enjoyed Immaculate. Immaculate was great. It was super fun and enjoyable. I think it does a lot of really good things. I think it came out maybe a month earlier, a little earlier than The First Omen, and I think it destroyed The First Omen. I liked The First Omen, but I don't think it was anywhere near as good as Immaculate. Immaculate is a lot more blasphemous and has a lot more of an interesting story, where I think The First Omen is a little rehashed. It's stuff that we've seen before a little bit. It's nothing really new, but Immaculate for sure is. I loved Immaculate. I thought it was great. Sydney Sweeney does an incredible job, and there's not really much negative I could say about Immaculate. I mean, I guess the only real thing I could say is the ending. I just mentioned the ending with Maxine, but the ending with Immaculate, there's a thing that happens, and I didn't care as much for it, but at the same time, it wasn't a big deal either. It was a little off-putting, a little fucked up, but it wasn't anything super bad. So Immaculate is incredible. That would be number 4 for me. Getting into number 3, I actually just watched this one a couple days ago. I went and seen it in theaters. I was late getting to see it in theaters. It's been out for a little while now, but that is Deadpool and Wolverine, which is Deadpool 3 in this franchise. And this is Deadpool's foray into the MCU, and I thought it was great. I loved it. I think Ryan Reynolds is still such an incredible actor, and he definitely fits the Deadpool. He's definitely Deadpool when you think about it. I think he does a really good job with Deadpool. Now, growing up, Deadpool was always my favorite character. I always had a huge love for Deadpool. As an adult, I've kind of strayed away from Deadpool a little bit. I still like him, but I think there are definitely more interesting Marvel and DC, Marvel characters out there. I think I don't know. For me, I lost interest in the fourth wall breaks, that became the whole thing. Deadpool is just now fourth wall breaks. So that's kind of what you expect with a Deadpool, but I loved it. I thought Deadpool and Wolverine was incredible. Hugh Jackman returning was insane. That's not a huge spoiler. I mean, it's shown in the trailer. It's Deadpool and Wolverine, so Hugh Jackman does insane. I think they both do an incredible job. They have great chemistry in the film. I think it's incredible. I loved it, and I guess the only negative I could really say about Deadpool and Wolverine is at times it feels like a Disney Marvel movie. Now, when I say that, it's the whole multiverse thing, and once you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. I won't spoil any of that stuff for you, but there are a lot of. I'll just say that there are cameos from certain people in the movie, and that could just be a Deadpool thing. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a Disney Marvel movie, but there's just elements to it that you can see Disney had their hand in this. And that's not always a bad thing, but a lot of the stunts and stuff are super polished CGI, and you can really tell that with this movie. And it's just sometimes you can really tell this is definitely a Disney Marvel movie. So that would be number 3? Yeah, number 3 on my list is Deadpool and Wolverine. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was great. I'm excited to see where they go from here because. I mean, is Hugh Jackman going to stay Wolverine? Is he going to continue being Wolverine again? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I thought it was really fun and really good. So I'm kind of torn on my second and first spot, but I think I've kind of got an idea of where I want these to be. So Furiosa is going to be number 2. It's very hard for me to decide, but I think Furiosa is going to be number 2 for me so far. I mean, again, this is just halfway point pretty much from the year. I haven't seen too many new releases, but I pick and choose which ones I want to see. Furiosa, number 2. Loved it. I loved Furiosa. I thought it was incredible. Now, is it as good as Fury Road? I don't think so. I don't think Furiosa is as good as Fury Road. But that's not discrediting the movie in any way. Anya Taylor-Joy is incredible. She does such a good job. I think everyone does a good job. Chris Hemsworth is having a blast this entire movie. I think he was probably one of the funnest parts of the movie, and he's a horrible person in the movie. I really loved his character. I loved Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa. And it's just such a good movie. It's so fun, and it's just nonstop action from start to finish, and it has a really rewarding finale. I thought it was really, really good. Furiosa number 2. Number 1 for 2024 so far, and I do have a physical copy of this, so I'll show it off, but that is Love Lies Bleeding from A24. Didn't think I was going to like this. I had heard so many conflicting things. Some people are like, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, and I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. Me and my wife both loved this movie. We thought it was incredible. There is a scene in this that is very divisive, and I saw maybe Chris Stuckman talk about it. He said that his theater, like, it was either you were going to love it or you were going to hate it, and his theater was like 50-50. So I watched it. I was a little confused, but once I delved more into it and I thought about it, I think I slept on it and I was like, wait a second. That's what that means. So when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a what the fuck moment in this movie. But after you see it, I think you'll be in the same realm of like, you know, if you really delve into it, you might like it. And for me, it worked. After I thought about it and it made sense to me, it worked. So Love Lies Bleeding is number 1 on my list for top 5 of 2024 so far. Love this movie. If you're, I'll just give you a brief synopsis. I didn't really break any of these other ones down, but I think this one might deserve it a little more because it's, you know, most of them people know about, and I'm sure people know about this one too, but still. So this is it's really a neo-noir when you break it down. It's got some horror elements to it too, but basically it follows these 2 women. It follows Kristen Stewart's character, and Kristen Stewart's character runs a gym, and it's set in the 80s. It's full of style, and it's got all of this flair and style of the 80s. It's set with a bodybuilding backdrop, you know, women working out, gyms, because at this time women bodybuilders were a huge thing. So Kristen Stewart kind of runs this gym. A girl strolls into town, and she gets employed by Kristen Stewart's dad, and Kristen Stewart does not have a very good relationship with her dad. And so the two of Kristen Stewart and the other girl, I can't think of her name right now, but the two of them, they kind of have this relationship going on, and it spirals out of control from her working for Kristen Stewart's dad, and it just opens up a whole big web of lies and deceit and betrayal and violence, killing. There's just so much in this, and it's so fun. It's such a good movie. It really feels reminiscent of something like Red Rock West or, you know, some other like neo-noirs that I've seen that I really enjoyed. And so it had a lot of elements from other movies that I really enjoyed. The aesthetic is captured perfectly. The style of everything and everyone in this movie is incredible. Dave Franco is in this, and he is despicable. His character is horrible, but he plays it really well. So it actually works in his favor because he's playing his character really, really well. So Love Lies Bleeding is such a fun watch. It's so good. I highly recommend it. I think it's great. I can't recommend this enough. I've never been a big fan of Kristen Stewart. This won me over on Kristen Stewart. I think Kristen Stewart gives her career performance in this movie for sure. I think she does incredible. I haven't even seen many Kristen Stewart movies, but the ones that I have seen, I've never been a huge fan of her. But this won me over. I thought Kristen Stewart did an insane job. So the other girl, she was incredible. I've never seen her in anything, and I feel bad for not saying her name, but I just can't. I really can't think of it off the top of my head right now. And this is kind of all off the cuff. If you're familiar with my videos, most of them are kind of just off the cuff. Hardly, I don't edit much. I just kind of go, start to finish, explain my thoughts, and go from there. But Love Lies Bleeding, number 1 so far. I was iffy about it, but I wound up loving it. So far, those are my top 5 of the year. I might do a worst 5 of the year because, there are plenty of movies that I've seen this year that I didn't enjoy. But so far, these are my top 5. I have high hopes for Alien Romulus later this month, so I'll probably put out a video of that when I watch it. I want to go see it in theaters. Cuckoo is another one I'm going to go check out probably. And later this year, Nosferatu. So excited for Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. But I guess that concludes my video. I just wanted to get on here and talk about these 5 movies, and then also kind of tell you where the channel's at and where we're headed. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe, and hit the bell below to be notified on all future videos, and we'll see you next time.